Well, hello and welcome back, everybody. We are actually coming in on this beautiful Tuesday from Park City, Utah.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, where we've had an amazing last couple days. We're going to talk a little bit about that here in just a moment. But my name is Marcy, and this is Dr. Dondee Nettles, and we are here for your weekly Zoom call for our team for the SC1 Factory Building Dreams call that we do every single Tuesday. So if you are not part of our team, welcome. We're glad to have you here. And if you are
Yes.
part of our team, yay, join us live. Would love to have you join us live. You can catch all the recordings every week on the YouTube channel, Team Freedom Reigns. We upload all kinds of stuff there. So please go subscribe, ring the bell, make sure that you're getting notifications. And if you want to join us live, the Zoom information is the same every week and it's right here on the screen. We would love to have you here with us every single week. So let's talk a little bit about what we've been doing up here in Park City, Utah. Do you want to start with this amazing guy that we got to meet yesterday?
Yes, so we are here. We went on an incentive trip to meet Terrence Moorhead, the new CEO of LifeVantage, and with his incredible past of over 30 years in the network marketing industry. If you have ever heard of the company Avon, he was with the company Avon for 22 years and was responsible for taking Avon into 30 new countries and taking it from a $2 billion company into a $12 billion company. So 6x the company's footprint in the industry and did very similar things with Nature Sunshine, who he was the CEO with immediately prior to joining Team LifeVantage. And when asked last night or yesterday in this event, why did you choose LifeVantage? His first and immediate response was the potential.
Yeah.
The potential of what LifeVantage has for rocking the industry and the world at large. And he's never seen in his professional career such an opportunity to step into a potential. And he basically said, we've got this most amazing thing that nobody knows about. That's the greatest potential. And I'm going to share some statistics about that to really pound that message home. But that's what we've been doing. And that's what this event was all about, to help introduce everyone to our new leader, Terrence Moorhead.
Yeah, and I loved a lot of what he said yesterday because a lot of the times when new CEOs come in, they just want to do it their way. They just want to change everything, right, and do it their way. Well, he decided, and the way he came in was it's like, no, I want to come in and I want to listen first. I want to hear, what people's thoughts are, what people's passions are, what their vision is. And then I want to be able to then bring a plan in and implemented, right? And so it was all about listening first and not just coming in and saying, I'm the CEO and I get to do what I want to do. And you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. No, none of that. It is all listen first and create a game plan together. So I love that. And then his idea around this is all about relationships first.
Yeah.
That forging those relationships, and this goes to him with the corporate staff that are in place, as well as him with the CEO suite or the C-suite, and then it's also with him and the field. And so it's all about relationships, and that's one of the things I noticed about him was that it's like at first he was the new kid on the block, right? So he was a little bit quiet, but by the end of the night last night he was just like he was cheering and he was clapping and he was just all in, all in, all in. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
And
I think the event was as powerful for us as the field leadership. And let me kind of just identify what this event was. So there was, I think, 76 individual people qualified to come to this event, which the company paid for. And I think it was kind of to Marcy's point and what he said first about listening. He was listening to the people that earned the right to be in that room. And he was very astute in his listening and was very complimentary of the things that he heard. And I think it gave him an idea of what the pulse of LifeVantage is as a leadership, a field leadership direction, and the community and culture that we've had here for now going on 18 years. And I think it was a really cool thing to watch, like Marcia said, his evolution of being a little, maybe even a little anxious to meet. He's only been a part of the company less than 3 weeks. And just really leaned in and listened, and it was a very powerful thing to watch. And then at the end of the night, he was just like part of the gang.
Yeah, I helped break him in really fast. You know, your girl Marcy does her thing and she just jumps on him as soon as she sees him and takes a selfie. And he's like, but from there, I mean, it was just amazing. It was such a great day. And then I absolutely love what he said about our mission and about how our voice needs to evolve, that we need to have relevance over flair. So over the words that we use and over, trying to help people understand things that the world just doesn't understand yet, we need to talk in ways that are relevant to the people that are seeking out our type of products, right? And even those people that don't know that they should be, but speaking in a language that people understand. And that was really important to me. So I'm super excited to see where that goes.
Yeah.
And then he just felt really steadfast to me. He just was so calm. I mean, heck, if I was coming into a company that's been around since, 2009, has some really strong leaders, with opinions and with voices and all that kind of stuff, I think I would have been a little bit more nervous, but he was just very calm and steadfast. And I really appreciated that about Terrence.
I think that speaks to his confidence and his track record in the industry.
Yeah.
He knows who he is. He knows what position he's at. He knows he's the head of this company, and he's going to pay attention to the leadership that he's around and that he's working with, because there has to be mutual respect. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things he really hit upon, is that we are all interdependent on one another. And to come in and clean house and just set the morale on its ear is not he said, I'm not coming in with all of my ideas. He goes, I'm coming in with obviously ideas from my history, but I want to listen and find out how to strategically place my ideas in a place that fits in a company and a culture that's relevant in the marketplace, and then to go for dominance. And he says, one of the things that I really appreciated about him, he's a winner. He always has been, and he is a wellness-based person. He's an avid mountain biker, he's an avid skier, he's an outdoor guy, and he's a very healthy man. And so he looks the part as our CEO and the person who's now steering this ship. And he took the time to listen to the culture, the community, the direction, what our experience was, and ultimately who we are as a company, to find out who are these people that I'm leading. So he becomes part of us rather than alienating us. And I thought that was just an incredible approach.
And so after we've said all of that, we also don't want to mislead you, because there will be change. And he even told us, there will be change. And he says, I'm going to ask you to do things that you've probably never done before. And you may not understand why, you may not, it may not feel comfortable, but I'm going to ask you to do it. And if you will do what I ask you to do, this company is going to grow. And so just embrace that change done appropriately and in the right ways is absolutely what we need, because if we just keep doing the same dang things we've been doing for the past 15 17 years, we are going to stay stagnant at that 200 million a year mark, right? And that is not what we want. We want massive momentum, we want massive growth here at LifeVantage, and we truly believe that Terrence Moorhead is going to be the leader at the helm that takes us there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's head on into the rest of the announcements before we get to our call. So guys, make sure that you are checking every single Monday for the Monday Momentum email for all of the announcements for the week, including for tonight. We've got the close the month call with presidential Tara Wilson. She's the one that will be leading that call tonight. It is at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. That means 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Hop on there. The Zoom ID and password are on the screen. Take a screenshot there. And then, of course, every Thursday night, we offer an opportunity presentation for you to invite your guests to. And I'm going to stress this. This is not for us just to come together and to hang out and for us to do a presentation and then to chat afterwards. This is for you to be inviting to and be bringing guests to, because it's new people seeing the information that's going to grow your business. And we are all about helping you grow your business and accomplish your goals. So Thursday night, the Own Your Tomorrow opportunity presentation, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And the Zoom ID and passcode are always the same. This is up on Big Blue Calendar. So everybody is welcome. Get your guests there. We can't wait to see you on Thursday night. And then the next event that is coming up, that's in person, global convention here in Salt Lake City. And by the way, guys, we are not going to be able to be back to the Salt Lake area for global convention until after 2036. 10 years. And it's so much more than the Olympics. So it is for the Olympics, absolutely. But what they're doing is they are completely rebuilding. They're tearing down the Salt Palace. The whole thing's going to be gone. And then they are building up a whole entertainment district in downtown that will include a new Salt Palace. But it's also going to be, making sure that they've got coverage for the Utah Jazz, and they've got coverage for their hockey team, all of that. So all of that's going to be built. So make sure that you make this a priority. Every event should be a priority. There was so much spoken about promoting events yesterday and the importance. If you really want to build your business, you have to be there, because that's where the belief happens. That's where you get the information that you need. That's where the community occurs, where you meet new people that have the same goals as you, so you can lock arms. The global convention, October 23rd, 1st through 24th in Salt Lake City. Please go and get registered if you are not registered yet. Make sure that you get your flight done, get your hotel booked, because what does waiting do?
It just costs you more money, and that's just senseless.
This is not a hobby. We're in this to make money,
commitment.
right? To make money. And so this is the whole event agenda. I'm not going to go over it. You can see this on your website under the event page. But what I want to strictly enforce here is that if you are not in the room, you will miss it. I mean, there was so much more that happened yesterday that we just can't share with you. I mean, there were so many stories that were shared in the room last night, that those people that were in the room now have that new tool in their toolbox to be able to share. And so if you're not there, you'll miss it. And lives truly are changed at events.
One of the things that was interesting listening to Presidential Sean and Michelle Poe about convention, the very first event they ever went to was Global Convention.
It was my same event too, my very first.
And what was important is what they were told. And, they've obviously had banking background for Sean and a success background for Michelle. And they said, look, if you do not attend this event, it will set you back in your business between 6 and 12 months. And that was the reason why they went. And they said they made a decision to go presidential at that event. And obviously they hit it. But events are transformational. So don't look at whether you can afford it. Put it on a credit card if you need to. Grow your business to pay it back. But it will set you back at least 6 months to 12 months in your business if you are not in attendance. And I'm just going to be that bold. And if you are doing this, if you are a consultant as opposed to a customer, and you are wanting to build this business, it is a non-negotiable. You must be in Salt Lake City.
Yeah. And I would even challenge each one of you that has ever had anyone join your business, or people that were part of LifeVantage before that aren't part of it anymore, pick up the phone and call them and tell them about this event. Tell them about where we're going. Tell them that we have a new CEO and that they should come and check out and see where we're going now, because this could be the perfect time for them to get re-engaged or re-enroll now in your business, right? So call anybody and everybody that has ever been part of LifeVantage in the past that is not currently. Promote this event, get butts in seats, because the more people that are there, the bigger your business will grow over the next year. And then, of course, staying in control of your business and blocking out your calendar and getting yourself registered early is vitally important. So Momentum Academy 2027 is in Atlanta, Georgia, April 22nd through 24th. Get registered. It's $129 right now. And make sure that you just have that commitment in place, because you need to be there. We will be there. We've never missed an event because success depends on it.
Yes.
And now moving into
week 9,
week's proven plan call. So this is the next week of our series, the proven plan. It's where you can guarantee success if you follow these steps. And you just fall in love with the mundane and do it for a long enough period of time. If you've missed the first 8, it's all on the YouTube channel. Go check it out. But this week, we're going to be talking about becoming a product of the product, because integrity is everything. And if you haven't had an experience yourself, or if you don't know what something is going to be doing inside of you, then it's really difficult to tell someone else that they should be using. Now, we are going to talk about some, caveats to that, but that's what this week's whole presentation is going to be about, is becoming a product of the product.
Yeah. So the whole thing here is about activation, activating the body, and belief comes from the experience. So you need to be able to one understand what it is, but as you are developing that story, there are people around you who are already at where you're trying to get. So utilize their experience while you are developing your own. But activation is the key here. Belief is the key here. So belief that you can feel and that other people can see. So the thing about this is use the products consistently. What products? The ones that have the benefits that you're looking for. Do you have to use all the products? No. We don't want you to even put the budget aside for using all the products. Use the ones that are applicable to you and the most applicable. And if you are new in this, the ones that you can afford. And as you grow your business, you can afford more. But look at the immediate benefits. That's how you decide. We are not preaching products here that don't do things. We are preaching products here that do things like activate the body. But look at the benefits and start there.
But before you pick out any other product, just remember that it always starts with yellow.
Starts with yellow.
Protandim NRF2 needs to be that foundational product that every single person starts on. So just keep that in mind, that if that's what you can afford when you first get started, start there, build your foundation of wellness and activation with Protandim NRF2. And then as you're building your business and increasing your income, then you can increase the amount of products that you're personally using. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, so this is really important here too, guys. So sell what you live and what others have experienced. So this is where I was talking about that caveat, right? That it might be an exception to what we're saying. So first of all, if you can only afford Protandim NRF2, fantastic, use it. You're going to see significant improvements and support for your wellness, right? And so absolutely get on that. And then you'll have stories develop from that. Well, on top of that, especially when you're first getting started, when you attend events, I mean, the stories that we heard last night, the things that we have in our pocket now that we can pull out to be able to share with other people when they share issues that they're experiencing, we'll be able to say, oh my gosh, I am so sorry that you're experiencing that. You know, personally, I've not ever experienced that, but what I have heard is amazing. You know, I could get you connected with this person that has had a similar experience to you so that they can share with you what happened when they started to support their bodies with activation, right? So you want to be able to speak from integrity from what you've used, yet you don't have to rely on only what you've used. You can still speak out of integrity for the stories that are shared from other people when you learn them and hear them. So, I mean, that's something that you should always be doing, is taking notes when you meet someone and you hear their story, get their contact information, and then in the story or in the notes portion of their contact, you can write out some of their story, right? So you can remember that. But go ahead.
Absolutely. So why we're talking about the products is, number one, becoming a product of the products is non-negotiable if you want to have success in the business. And you have an experience. But here's some, let's just say some statistics that should open your eyes to the opportunity that we have with this business to show other people the benefits of the product. So this is from the Global Wellness Institute. So the global wellness economy hit a record $6.8 trillion last year in 2025 and is forecast to reach 9.8 trillion in the next 3 years. So increasing by $1 trillion per year for the next 3 years. And this is because there's more people right now on planet Earth looking for wellness than ever before. The top selling book should kind of allude to that. So we talk about a book called Good Energy from Dr. Casey Means, who was being vetted for the Surgeon General of the United States. Well, she just endorsed a book that is not even out yet. It comes out on September 5th, but it's from Dr. Josh Axe and Dr. Will Cole. The book is called Heal Your Cells. Heal Your Cells. Mm-hmm. And guess what the book is talking about? Oh, how about cellular dysfunction, energy, metabolism, inflammation, aging, and strategies intended to improve cellular health. Doesn't that sound exactly like the flag that LifeVantage planted back in 2003? And so when we've got a $9.8 trillion industry that is going to be here in the next 3 years, and we are the activation company, we are in position one to dominate this. The problem and our limitation is the fact that no one literally knows who we are. But all the checkoff boxes, we passed the first 5 years, we're debt free. We've got a track record. We've got scientific validity more than any other company.
We have longevity.
We've got, and our focus is longevity and cellular aging and activating the human body. It is the best kept secret and the best possible strategy to dominate that $9.8 trillion. We just have to get the message out.
Well, this book and Dr. Mean's book, Good Energy, are actually helping to set the stage and the foundation for that relevant conversation that Terrence was talking about, right? Because they talk about oxidative stress. They talk about all these things. So as people are starting to share with you what their experiences are and where they'd like improvement, you can recommend these books to them, and it's going to help educate them on what is going on inside their bodies. And then you can share with them, you know, and when I said longevity, we have longevity as a company. We've been around for a long time. These are not products that just popped up, right? We've got so much research behind. We have so much third-party validation. And so we will automatically become one of the best options for people. And when Dondee said that $9.8 trillion, guys, right now in 2026, people are spending $6.8 trillion on natural products, supplements, right? In the next 3 years, that is expected to jump up to 9.8 trillion. And so when you see just the perfect storm that's coming together in these books that are out there that are talking exactly our language and educating people on that, and if we can promote, you know, some of that reading to people that are looking to be able to improve their wellness, that language is going to become something that more and more people understand. And that is, you know, really where we become so relevant in the conversation. So guys, there is 3 trillion in growth that we can capitalize on in the next 3 years. Not saying we're getting all of it, but what if we just got, what if we got
1%
or even 0.5%? That would be massive growth for this company, right? That's huge, right? So be your own best customer, meaning that you're using the products first. Model the habits that you recommend. So you want to be using the products that you're so passionate about, right? I mean, like for us, we've got a select grouping of products that we recommend the most, always starting with yellow, Pro Tandem. But then you've got P84 that we use every day. We've got collagen. We've got Axio, right? And then I use Mind Body too. But we've got a select group of products that we love, we use, and we recommend to everybody that we have conversations with.
Yep.
Yep.
You got the secret sauce. It's that we just got to spread it.
Yep, absolutely.
So become a student of you. This is so critically important. And so when you're looking at your baseline, whatever your baseline is, and when you establish that, you should be constantly improving it. If your goal is longevity. And if it's not, I don't know why you'd be a member of LifeVantage unless you didn't understand it. And so one of the things that is the most important thing is your own experience. Learn your body, feel it differently every day. Track 2 or 3 meaningful markers for you, whether that's gut health, brain health, cellular health, longevity, whatever it is for you, skin health, hair health. Map it out and start showing your own progress, seeing your own progress, and look for patterns. We don't yet. Some of the stuff we do here, have people had miracles? Yes. And that's the cool thing. Look for your own patterns and how they line up for what the world is looking for too. And that's part of your message. It's part of your inclusive message that's going to draw people in.
You know, and one of the things that I've learned over the years is that even those miracle stories, they're amazing, right? But how many other people are going through the exact same thing you went through?
Yeah.
Right. And so these smaller things that you track and you journal on a daily basis, these are the things that are going to be what you truly will be able to share with others that will resonate with them as you're sharing products, right? As you're sharing a solution to an experience that they are having. So make sure that you're tracking your own product or your own product experience as you're using them.
Yeah. And don't embellish. There's no need for embellishing.
The truth is enough.
The truth is enough. The truth will set you free.
Yes.
So your experience becomes your story. Learn to tell your story, especially when you see people having something similar or something that you have already conquered and you're on the other side of it, because your story will bring hope to other people. And there's a lot of hopeless people right now. How do I know that? Because we are getting sicker and sicker, younger and younger, and the incidence of things that kill human beings are not going down. They are increasing. More people are dying of heart disease. More people are dying of cancer. More people are dying of type 2 diabetes. More people are dying of obesity and the challenges that come along with that, the comorbidities. More people are dying of cognitive degenerative, neurodegenerative disorders, despite the fact that we are learning more and more and more about natural methods. But people are wanting it more, they're needing it more, they just don't have a solution. And I will tell you, I said this last night, we have supplementation, we have medication, and we have activation. And activation is the only one that turns on the body's natural power, and there's no side effects to it. You can have side effects to supplements. You can have side effects, obviously, to medications. There's no side effects to activation because your body is the one in control. And that is something that the world needs to understand. That principle right there will get us on the map much deeper. The flag will be planted much deeper and much broader when people truly understand that.
Yeah, and when you learn how to share your story in a way that just kind of sits with people, it resonates, that's when you're going to see massive change and growth in your customer base and your consultants that want to work with you. And so it's a really simple part framework for you to be able to share your story. So you're going to start with what you were experiencing before, whether it was poor sleep, achy joints, your brain fog, whatever it is. Just make sure you stay compliant, and then describe what you did. A good friend shared with me this ABC News report that talked about activation. And I was like, well, I don't think it can hurt me, so I'm going to try it. And this is what I noticed.
Yep.
Right? I was sleeping deeper. I actually started to dream again. It's like I was able to get up and down off the couch without issues. I was able to play with my grandkids the way that I've always wanted to, right? That's your result. And then explain why it matters. Well, for that grandchildren thing, I've always wanted to be the young grandma. I didn't want to be a grandma that couldn't play with my grandkids. I couldn't chase them around, that I couldn't be the one that was called by my kids to help with the grandkids, right? And so this is really important to me that I found this, and I think that it's something that could really benefit you too. So just keep it short, keep it real. Again, the truth is enough when you're sharing your product story.
Yeah, your story should, I would say, develop two stories, a 30-second story and a 2-minute story. Doesn't need to be longer than that.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, okay. So, and your experience is going to create duplication because people are going to see what you're seeing. They're going to want what you have. They're going to want to have the life that you have, whether it's the cellular activation, the financial security, the purpose-driven life, or the combination of all of them. So, your experience will create duplication because people will want what you have.
Yeah.
That is the biggest part of your story and being a product of the product. Invite others to experience it. Use the products publicly. Share about it, make a post about it, do it like, or just
do axio puffs on the airplane.
Exactly. Or just in a restaurant, if you're there for lunch, open up your axio, pour it in, stir it up, and make sure you cling the spoon on the side of the glass to draw attention. Not like a cheers at a wedding or anything like that, but just to draw people in and do that axio puff because the smell brings people in.
Yeah. So, and make sure that you set proper expectations for your customers, right? Because we are not pharmaceuticals, so we don't force the body to do anything. We actually encourage the body to do what it knows it needs to do, and we activate it to do so, right? So we give it what it needs, and we refuse or remove whatever interference was there before with activation. And so that means it takes longer. Being natural and it's working with the body, it's going to take longer. And so with it, Protandim NRF2, the formulator, he himself said, you need to give this product a minimum of 1 month for every decade that you have been alive in order to get the product working fully inside of your body, right? And then the longer that you use it, the better it gets. So it's a compound effect. So set proper expectations. Don't give, like overnight results thoughts. Proper expectations always, and then encourage that consistent use, because even when you get someone to take it, if they're only taking it once every 3 days or, once a month, it's not going to work for them. It is designed to work by the directions that are on the bottle, including Protandim NRF2. Take with Food. So many people don't see that one simple direction that is actually on the bottle, but it means everything. And make sure that you are offering people to download the LifeVantage app for customers, because this is a great way for them to be able to track their product usage and also help keep their expectations in the right area with the information that is provided there. And it will also help them notice their wins, because they're going to be tracking on a daily basis, and they'll be able to see what is improving and what direction they're going in. And then again, you can then help them become someone that helps share the story for you, because you can teach them how to share their story in the same 4-part framework that we just went over simply. And then that way they can become either a referral base for you, or you can upgrade them to a consultant to start earning their own income stream.
Absolutely. Good points. So protect the trust. This is so critical. We have a sacred trust here at LifeVantage with our activation story.
Got to protect
and so
mama.
we got to protect mama. We can't be doing non-compliant things. We can't be reckless with our stories. We can't out there being just cavalier with what we say, and try to treat every disease out there, because we will instantly be put in the crosshairs of regulators like the FDA or the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, or the Securities and Exchange Commission as a publicly traded company. We don't want to go there. So share your experiences, but no guarantees. Because what does it say? Results may vary. You see that in all kinds of different things. It's the expectation, especially with success in our business. There are people who've tried network marketing many, many times and never been successful because they want to reinvent the wheel. I was having a conversation with a chiropractor yesterday here about that. Oh, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. It's like, you shouldn't even think about that. Just implement this system that's been here for 17 years, because she just came on board. And it's like, don't reinvent the wheel. Just get behind the driver's seat, or get in the back seat and watch the driver, and then get in the passenger seat, and then eventually get in the driver's seat. That whole on-the-job training, the whole OJT of the blueprint. It's the follow the system that's been working, and that's where ego comes in. But don't guarantee anything. Use compliant language, please, and then respect the individual differences that people have. Because if you look at people from the outside, we are as different on the outside as we are on the inside, especially how we've lived our lives. If you look at 10 40-year-old females and 10 40-year-old males, the only commonality is they're male or female and they're 40 years old. You could look at 10 and they probably look all very different. Some of their skins are going to have more wrinkles. Some of them are going to have more hair. Some are going to have more muscle. Some are going to have more belly. The difference is it's going to work differently. Activation is going to work differently in every single person. We need to know that going in. Results may vary, but share your story. Do it compliantly, because you're going to find people looking just like you've been looking, and they're going to want to hear what you have. Your story will give them hope.
Yeah. And guys, if you're using social media, such a simple way for you to be able to share your story and bits and pieces of you living your life is if you're out taking a walk, or you're out hiking, or you're out playing with your grandkids, whatever you're out doing that is active, take a picture. And then when you're posting, just say, I remember when, right? I remember when I had a hard time getting up and off of the couch, or I could hardly get out of my bed without rolling to my side and pushing myself up, whatever it was that you experienced before. And then thank goodness for yellow. I'll be forever grateful, for that ABC News report that I watched, because now I'm out, I'm hiking, I'm doing everything that I desire to do without the negative experience that I had before, right? Just keeping it compliant. And then you can do a call to action. If you'd like to know what it was that I found, what was in that ABC News report, say ABC in the comments and I'll share the link. Right? And then that way you can start the conversation with them in Messenger. So it doesn't have to be a long post. It can just be super simple. I remember when, and then, and now, would you, right? So invite them. Okay.
How it started, how it's going,
Yep.
however you want to do it.
Yep.
So literally your life is the presentation. So people are going to observe you. In fact, if you look at if you are on social media, there are about 10 to 15 times more people observing you than are engaging with you, whether they comment, share, or whatever, and probably even more than that. So realize what you are doing has a much broader and far-reaching impact than you think. But be consistent, be truthful, be knowledgeable, and just be honest in your story and be compliant. And it's very, very important, because consistency creates confidence. That confidence is going to change the communication strategy, especially with you as you gain more of it. Communication creates curiosity. As you start communicating, people are going to, they're going to see the transformation. And it may take them months to engage with you or comment on it, but they are watching. And then that curiosity opens conversations. And once those conversations begin, that leadership takes over and you are going to change people's lives. It is so critically important to know that every single thing you are going through is going to be beneficial for 10 times more people than you think.
Yeah, and keep in mind that curiosity is at the baseline of everything, right? So you need to be curious about what's going on in other people's lives because it needs to be about them. It's not about you. You just get to share your story as part of the solution after you've been curious a long enough period of time to learn where their struggles are and what we have a solution for. So make sure that you're curious all of the time.
That's right. So live it, track it, share it with the experience. Be a product of the product. You're living the experience. You're tracking it, whether it's visually, whether you're journaling it, whether you're sharing it in videos, and then share it out there with people because people want what you have, even if you're just beginning, even if it's just the excitement and enthusiasm. If you just look around the world right now, there is a massive deficit of enthusiasm. People are looking for everything to complain about rather than things to celebrate. What better things to celebrate than your own health, your own financial security, or the legacy that you are living, or the purpose that you are involved in? And I would say, look at every aspect of LifeVantage. There are so many things. Marci started a conversation with a guy here, Coach Nate, who is a ski pro and a golf pro here in Park City, Utah, works with the Special Olympics. And the thing that drew him in was Marci talking about legacy, our LifeVantage legacy.
Yeah, his eyes just went boom. It's like,
Yeah.
you guys have a foundation. It's like, yeah,
So
it's a
tell
big
the
deal.
story.
Yeah,
Share
tell
it
the story.
liberally, every part of it.
Yeah, so your challenge for this week, guys, and just know that if you are happy with where you're at in your business, just keep doing what you're doing. That's fine. But if you're not happy, you got to change, right? And some of the things we're going to ask you to do are going to be uncomfortable, but we're going to ask you to do it, and we're going to ask you to trust us. Just like Terrence did yesterday with all of us that were in the room when he said, things may get uncomfortable when I ask you to do something because it's going to be different. Embrace the change because change is where change happens, right? And so your challenge is for the next 7 days. If you aren't already, make sure that you're using products consistently. If you're not quite sure how to use them consistently, check the instructions or check the product pages. We've got so much information out there to be able to help you understand how you should be using these products. And then track 3 significant markers that are important to you and that would be important to other people over the next 7 days. Or if you have already been on these products for several years, over a decade for us, 15 plus years, then think back to the beginning and think about what has changed for you over time and what you're able to do now that you couldn't do before, or at your age, what others aren't, right? And track those things and then build your 30-second story to be able to share with other people. And then my challenge to you, our challenge to you is share it one time every single day, not one time this week, every single day. Share your story with someone new. Okay. So not with your spouse every single day, not looking at yourself in the mirror every single day, but with a new person that's got blood pumping through their heart and through the veins, that you have not shared your story with yet. So that is the way you can become product of the product, share with integrity, build your business by helping other people with problems they have.
Yeah. And the more you share, the more hope you provide. The more hope you provide, the more people you're going to touch. And the more people you touch, the bigger you grow your business. And the bigger you grow your business, the bigger we grow this cause called LifeVantage. Because the world needs it. And there's $9.8 trillion out there just waiting to be had. And if you think I'll let it go, you're mad. You got another thing coming. There's some little Judas Priest lyrics right there.
Look at him. All right, guys, thanks for being here with us. Make sure that you get on the phone to all those people that have previously been part of LifeVantage. Encourage them to get to Global Convention, hear from our new CEO, see where we're going now, see if it's time for them to jump back in, but promote, get everybody to Global Convention in October. Thanks for being here with us, and we will see you
Bye, guys.
next week.